this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Work can be a little weird. Cringy training seminars, coworkers who won't stop talking about their plant, forgetting the mute button at an inopportune moment. We have to deal with a lot on any given workday. Sometimes it can feel hard to thrive and move forward in your career. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in. LinkedIn helps you get ideas and insights from experts in your field, connect with people professionally, grow your network, and access tools designed to help you find the right fit for your next role. Whether you're just getting started, figuring out your next move, or looking to accelerate your career, LinkedIn is built to support you at every stage because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
Hey, quick question for the parents listening right now. When's the last time your kid asked for something and you actually felt good saying yes? Because lately, a lot of families have been hearing the same thing. Can I have Lingo Kids, please?
And here's the thing. Lingo Kids is the #1 entertainment platform for young kids with more than 4,000 interactive games, songs, and shows. Astronauts, wild animals, superheroes, dinosaurs. It's literally everything kids love all in one place.
So when they ask for it, you can actually feel good saying yes. Download Lingo Kids for free and start exploring today, or unlock even more amazing content with Lingo Kids Plus. And if you go with the yearly plan, you can save up to 60%. Just search Lingo Kids in the App Store or Google Play. Lingo Kids, everything kids love.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. There's Charles W. Chuck Bryant.
Get you're imprinting all over me. Stop.
Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah, you're rubbing your feathers all over me.
Mm-hmm. I've got a feather duster that I'm tickling you with.
Poking me with your beak.
Yeah.
I'm not your parents, you know.
That's right.
Thank God.
What a weird intro that was.
Yeah, that was and scene. It's called animal imprinting.
I'm sure we've talked about this before, but is it and scene or end scene? We need Joe Randazzo to weigh in on this one.
No, we don't. It's and scene.
Sure.
I'm positive we have talked about this. And
I know we have, but I don't remember the outcome.
Well, it was me saying it's and scene for sure, and you're going, you sure?
That's why we're talking about it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's and scene.
So, animal imprinting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing.
It is. It's, in the strictest definition, it is only for birds.
Yeah, and specific type of birds called precocial birds.
Yeah, they are very precocial.
Yeah, exactly. That means that they hatch out of the egg and look around and start waddling, and they're like, oh, look, this is water. I have this weird innate urge to get in there and swim.
Yeah.
And, here's a little bit of duck food. I think I'll eat some of that because I have a drive to do that. But what is that wonderful smell? Oh, I think this might be the duck that gave birth to me.
Right.
Or laid me as an egg, and now I'm going to imprint myself on you.
It's either that or it's a grown human man.
Yeah, it can be anything, especially with ducks, but especially specifically precocial birds have a process where they form an attachment to a parent. And it's been shown over time that parent doesn't necessarily have to be a biological parent. It can not even be in the same species.
It doesn't even have to be a living thing.
No.
It can be a toy train.
Yes, it can be, or a pair of gumboots.
Yeah.
And humans have known for a very long time about this process. It just wasn't until like the 1900s that we started to get a real grip on it. But like apparently there's a Roman treatise around, I guess like the 30s. In the real 30s, I mean like 30 CE.
Not 1930s.
No, like 30.
Not the swinging 30s.
And it basically says like if you want to train some wild ducks, go get yourself some duck eggs, put them under a hen that you have domesticated, and that hen will raise those ducks as their own, and they'll be unwild.
Yeah, in rural China, back in the day, rice farmers would imprint new ducks with a stick, so they could then use that stick to guide them out to their rice population where they would eat snails.
Right, the rice population.
So they're literally following this stick around like it's their parents.
Yeah.
So they would lead them to help to work for them, basically.
And the whole thing is the stick was what they were introduced to at a very specific time in their life, usually within a couple hours, and they said, "Stick, you're my mom.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow you everywhere. When you're
so
not around,
weird.
I'm going to freak out."
It's so weird.
Yeah. And ducks are a really great, they're like a classic example of imprinting because they're very emotional creatures. And they form very strong attachments, and they're very social creatures. So either they're all those things because they form very strong imprinted bonds, or they form very strong imprinted bonds because of all those things.
Yeah. Well, I think it's natural selection at work. Faux show.
So that's at the heart of this whole thing is, is it nature versus nurture?
Yeah.
And imprinting is a really great natural experiment to investigate the whole thing. And what it seems like we found is that it's both.
Yeah.
That apparently, specifically, precocial ducks are hardwired to go seek out and form an attachment.
Yeah.
But depending on what they encounter at the time, e.g. their environment, also known as nurture, they can form that attachment with a stick.
Yeah. Or a toy train.
Or a Nazi.
Yeah. It's very cute, actually, when you think about it. They're just like, love me, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Hand puppet.
What was that Dr. Seuss book?
I think it was Love Me, Hand Puppet. No?
I think it was Are You My Mother?
I don't know. Never heard that.
Like Horton makes an appearance in it. It's like some animals walking around like, "Are you my mother?"
Really?
Yeah.
God, that's awful.
It is pretty sad. But it's basically a Dr. Seuss book about imprinting.
Oh, cool. Well, you mentioned Nazis, so to me that's my cue to segue into the life of Konrad with a K, Lorenz, who was Austrian, born at the turn of the century in 1903. And he was big into animals, and he studied regular medicine and then decided, this is great, humans are fun, but I'm really into studying animals and their behaviors.
Right.
That was his bag.
So he became a zoologist.
He did. He got a PhD in 1933 and started work alongside Oskar Heinroth, who was a fellow scientist with, was he Austrian or German?
I'm not sure.
He's probably one of the two.
Well, so Lawrence is working. He's already established himself as a scientist when the Nazis come marching into town.
Yeah.
And
literally.
One of the things he had to answer for years later when he won the Nobel Prize for his imprinting work was his zeal and enthusiasm, basically, with which he welcomed the conquering Nazis.
Yeah.
And took his ideas about domestication and applied them to the lens of Nazi theory.
Yeah.
About race. Like, Konrad Lorenz was a racist in the purest and vilest form of the word.
Yes.
There's no escaping that.
No, and he flat out denied even being a party member until it was proven, and then he was like, I was.
Forgot about that membership.
And he very much tried to wiggle his way out of that years later, by saying, I think how it ends up is he's not the only academic that was on the wrong side of history.
No, certainly
back
not.
Then. And he came out years later and was sort of like, oh yeah, but I sort of got swept up. I didn't really mean it in this way. And science is kind of divided. Some people forgave him and others did not.
Yeah, and it's, I think science as a whole has forgiven him largely, like science with a capital S. But there are plenty of scientists out there who are like, the guy was a Nazi and he used his theories to help the Nazi regime.
Yeah.
Like he was a Nazi psychologist in Austria who was paid to examine German, Polish people.
Yes.
And basically determine that like the mating of a German person and a Polish person produces undesirable offspring. Well, you throw that out into the Nazi void and see what they do with that info.
Yeah, they're not going to be mating with Polish people.
So this guy he was an evolutionary theorist of a very brilliant magnitude.
Sure.
Great zoologist, but also a Nazi, and a lot of people call into question like the work that he produced.
Yeah.
But again, as a whole, science seems to have forgiven him for the most part.
Yeah, that's a great sort of a COA. It's more like the more you know type of thing.
Right, you got to make the star.
Yeah, exactly. So, that aside, let's get back to his work with Oskar Heinroth. They were contemporaries, and Heinroth, he was actually the first dude even though he didn't call it imprinting at the time. He used the German word Prägung.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, like an A with an umlaut, sort of a ear. Prägung.
Oh, that's good. That sounded Swedish chefy, though.
Yeah, I'll probably get taken to task, but for my memory of German in college, that's right on the money. So, like I said, he didn't call it imprinting at the time, but he did study the gray lag geese and found out that right out of the egg that they can attach to humans. And it was a big, although they did it in Rome and ancient China, Germans probably thought they made that up.
Right.
Discovered it first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And another thing that Lorenz is criticized for, aside from the Nazi affiliation, was that he was he very readily made what's called an anthropic shift.
Yeah.
Where he took his findings about animals and was very eager to extrapolate them onto humans.
Yeah.
As well, which some people are like, whoa, buddy, you haven't shown that connection yet.
Yeah, you can't. That doesn't always work.
No, but we'll see, there's an understanding that, yeah, there's something similar in humans and other mammals too.
Yeah.
As we'll talk about.
So there was one experiment early on where he took some goose eggs and separated them out, into the control and the experimental group. And of course the experimental, he raised separate from the mother completely. All this sounds kind of mean too, by the way.
Yeah. So all imprinting experiments are about as immoral as they get.
Yeah, it's like ripping the baby right out of the egg or womb, away from its mother.
Right. And saying
just to see what happens.
Right. Like, here, this gumboot is your mother.
Yeah.
Try growing up normal and socialized with a gumboot for a mom.
No, agreed. Yeah.
Almost across the board, these are immoral, unethical experiments.
Agreed. So the experimental geese only met with him, not the goose mom at all. And then eventually, to test this out, what he did was he put the groups together, marked them, put them under a box, and then basically, sort of like the old experiment, like Brady Bunch thing, to see who calls the dog, which one the dog will come to.
I forgot about that.
He had someone lift the box. He's on one side of the room, the goose is on the other, and the ones who he had raised came straight to him.
Yeah, which I'll bet when they lifted that box, it was adorable. A bunch of confused ducklings looking around like, what was that?
Right, you're my mommy.
Right.
Nazi man.
Right. The bearded Nazi is my mom.
So he finally named it filial imprinting.
I think filial.
Filial imprinting.
Yeah, and it's basically exactly what it sounds like. It's that if you introduce something or yourself to a precocial bird at a certain stage of development, it will say, you're my parent, right?
Yeah, and he initially called that the critical period, right? Is the amount of time you had to do that.
Yeah, so his studies weren't quite as well designed as later studies, but he basically said he assumed probably first 10 minutes, maybe an hour after hatching is this critical period. And then he also took it a step farther by saying it's irreversible.
Yeah.
So once this duckling thinks a gumboot is its mom, it's always going to think
you're stuck with that duck until you eat it.
So Lorenz really put a lot out there, and he really moved evolutionary biology ahead to a degree.
Yeah.
Ethology is the field that he helped found.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about some follow-up studies that supported and overturned some of his findings right after this.
We've all had the experience of calling a business and just wanting to talk to a real person. Not an automated voice pretending to be human, an actual person who can listen and understand and offer help.
That's exactly what you can do with Ruby. Ruby is the virtual receptionist company that takes care of your callers when you're unavailable in the middle of something or simply don't want to pick up.
That's right. They can answer, screen, transfer calls. They can take messages, collect payments, book appointments, and more, all while making the people you serve feel special.
And best of all, it can help you be more productive. For example, 9 out of 10 lawyers who use Ruby log more billable billable hours per day than the national average.
And other professionals like plumbers and technicians win more customers while being able to stay focused on the job. But whatever kind of small business you run, Ruby is built to save you time, earn you more customers or clients, and make meaningful connections with the people you serve.
It's available 24/7, 365 days a year, and 100% based in the U.S. See why more than 15,000 small businesses use Ruby. Visit Ruby.com, or better yet, call them at 844-900-RUBY. Work can be a little weird. One minute you're in a meeting that could have been an email. The next you're trying to decode corporate jargon that somehow means nothing. And don't even get us started on the quick sync that turns into a 45-minute deep dive.
Yeah, well, the truth is figuring out your career isn't always straightforward. Whether you're trying to grow, pivot, or just stay relevant, it can feel like you're navigating it all on your own. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in.
That's right. LinkedIn can help you grow your career, helping you confidently navigate your path with insights, ideas, and inspiration from your professional community. You can stay up to date with the latest trends in your field, connect with people who get it, and discover opportunities tailored to your goals, your experience, and what actually matters to you.
Whether you're looking for something new or just trying to grow where you are, LinkedIn gives you the tools and connections to move forward with confidence. Because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
So, Chuck, Lawrence comes up with filial imprinting, right?
Yeah.
Then later studies in like the 50s and 60s, especially by a guy named Eckhart Hess and A.O. Ramsey, who built a lab in Maryland specifically dedicated to studying animal imprinting. And they had really great controlled conditions. And
yes.
they really refined Lawrence's findings.
Yeah, and they studied mallard ducklings, again, with the ducks. And they found that the most sensitive period was 13 to 16 hours after hatching, which was more hours than I think Lorenz had found, correct?
Yeah.
I think he had it down to like 3 or 4 hours, right?
Tops, yeah. And this was, I guess the duckling likes to have a little time to swim around and get some food and maybe take a rest, and then it'll start getting down to imprinting.
Yeah, and I thought this was super interesting. They also found that the ducklings that had to go, jump through more hurdles and go through more to find the parent formed a stronger attachment. Mm-hmm. Which kind of makes sense. Like you worked harder for it.
Right.
I guess.
It's like that Morrissey song, "The more you ignore me, the closer I get."
Man, he's the best.
The best.
Yeah. Also the worst as far as like canceling shows and like, I mean, dude cannot, like, I don't know if he's ever completed a full tour. There's no way.
It's like, oh, I have a headache.
Like every Morrissey tour, eventually, if you're on the end of that tour, you might as well not even have tickets.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be seeing Morrissey. All right. That's my little soapbox about Morrissey. Finish your tour.
That's right. Yumi and I had that happen to us.
Oh, you had Morrissey tickets and see? Mm-hmm. Was it recently?
It was within the last 2 years.
He should call every tour like the Morrissey
Potential tour.
Or first half tour.
Yeah.
So back to the ducklings. They also found that they would imprint onto little paper mache ducks that they made.
Yeah.
Which is very sweet.
Colored balls.
Yeah. Colored more than the white ones.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I guess, I don't know, they must react to color more, even though vision wasn't really a part. I thought it was just sound.
It depends.
Smell and touch.
So there's a PBS Nature special called My Life as a Turkey, and it's about a researcher who is studying animal imprinting, and specifically with turkeys.
I read that one.
Turkeys have astounding vision.
Yeah.
Just amazing vision. Like they can spot a screw head from a football field away. That's small.
How do you know? Did they say screw head?
Right. Well, yeah, they're known for going and rooting out screwheads at long distances.
Wow.
They just stop and point.
Like a pig in the truffles.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's what turkeys are used for. So a turkey has very great vision. So I could see color being an environmental cue.
I guess so.
Smell.
movement.
Touch
of the
is a
three big
huge
ones.
one.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
All right. So another thing they tried that did not work, which I thought was interesting, is going back even before they hatched and using auditory cues in the egg, and they found that didn't make any difference. But it's a good thing to test.
The guy on the nature thing, though, found the opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he would talk turkey to the eggs.
Oh, I thought he talked turkey once they were born.
No, while they were eggs, he talked turkey to get them used to it. Right.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good turkey, Chuck.
Thank you.
And then after that, when they were hatched, he talked turkey again to them, and apparently they came right over.
Oh, okay.
But smell's also a big one too.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
Like, the inside of the egg probably smells a lot like the mom.
Yeah.
You know?
That makes sense.
So all these environmental cues add up to what this little hatchling is basically mindlessly following, because again, all of this imprinting stuff has found that animals, at least, are hardwired to go seek out and form these attachments.
Yes, and they also found that their that critical period was even longer when they kept them isolated from birth. So if they kept them completely socially isolated, they would have up to 20 hours to imprint. And this caused a researcher named, Vladislav Slukin.
Great name.
He said it's actually not a critical period. Let's call it a sensitive period.
Right.
Semantics, if you ask me.
Yeah, but it makes a pretty good point. It's basically saying, like, this thing is not, yes, it appears to be hardwired, but it's also malleable in the face of nurture, in the face of the environment.
Sure.
It can be postponed. It can be altered. It's not nature versus nurture. It's nature and nurture in conjunction with one another.
That's right.
And so all of this filial imprinting that Lawrence first identified and really started systematically studying, and that was later carried on in birds, also led to the discovery that birds also imprint sexually as well as filially.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And depending on what they attach to filially, they will their sexual attachments or sexual preferences will also be altered later on in life.
Right.
As they mature.
So in other words, a bird that is raised by a human will eventually try and mate with humans.
Yes.
Even in the presence of other birds of that species.
Right.
Crazy.
Yes, and the reason why they think is because the bird is basically identifying with what it's taking as its own species, right? Mm-hmm. So it will say, well, my parent is a human, ergo I must be a human.
Right.
And therefore I want to get with a human.
Yeah, it's a very confused bird.
Right, but there's something that they've also found that refines this whole thing even further, and that is that sexual imprinting is basically blocked. They're sexually blind is what they call it, to the person that raised them.
Yes.
So while they might be attracted to humans, they're not going to be attracted to their human parent.
Right.
And there's actually something which we should do an incest episode.
We should. That sounds like it's you just pulled that out of thin air, but it's remarkably similar.
Yeah, there's something that's been noted in humans called the Westmark effect, which we'll have to do an incest episode, but super interesting.
Yeah, agreed.
Especially coming from like a clinical standpoint or viewpoint.
Yeah, sure. And not just like, let's do a show on incest. Ooh, gross. The end. Right. You know, look at it sociologically.
That sounds like a Stuff You Should Know episode.
Back to the birds, another interesting finding here when they studied the sexual imprinting initially, it was with jackdaws, which are sort of like crows.
Okay.
And they found that there were different types of imprinting occurring as they mature. So, in other words, one of those jackdaws ate with humans, flew with crows, but mated with jackdaws.
Right, so that suggests that
they were partying, dude.
There are these, it's a well-rounded jackdaw.
Yeah.
But it suggests that there are the different sensitive periods rather than just one.
Right.
14 to 16 hours after hatching,
that's
right? And you have a filial imprinting, like pretty early on. That's the first one. And then sexual imprinting comes after that. Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, we'll talk more about. Remember, I said Lorenz was accused of making the anthropic shift a little too soon?
Sure.
Well, he was vindicated to a large extent because a lot of this does apply to mammals as well. We'll talk about that right after this.
We've all had the experience of calling a business and just wanting to talk to a real person. Not an automated voice pretending to be human, an actual person who can listen and understand and offer help.
That's exactly what you can do with Ruby. Ruby is the virtual receptionist company that takes care of your callers when you're unavailable in the middle of something or simply don't want to pick up.
That's right. They can answer, screen, transfer calls. They can take messages, collect payments, book appointments, and more, all while making the people you serve feel special.
And best of all, it can help you be more productive. For example, 9 out of 10 lawyers who use Ruby log more billable hours per day than the national average.
And other professionals like plumbers and technicians win more customers while being able to stay focused on the job. But whatever kind of small business you run, Ruby is built to save you time, earn you more customers or clients, and make meaningful connections with the people you serve.
It's available 24/7, 365 days a year, and 100% based in the U.S. See why more than 15,000 small businesses use Ruby. Visit ruby.com, or better yet, call them at 844-900-RUBY. Work can be a little weird. One minute you're in a meeting that could have been an email. The next you're trying to decode corporate jargon that somehow means nothing. And don't even get us started on the quick sync that turns into a 45-minute deep dive.
Yeah, well, the truth is figuring out your career isn't always straightforward. Whether you're trying to grow, pivot, or just stay relevant, it can feel like you're navigating it all on your own. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in.
That's right. LinkedIn can help you grow your career, helping you confidently navigate your path with insights, ideas, and inspiration from your professional community. You can stay up to date with the latest trends in your field, connect with people who get it, and discover opportunities tailored to your goals, your experience, and what actually matters to you.
Whether you're looking for something new or just trying to grow where you are, LinkedIn gives you the tools and connections to move forward with confidence. Because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
Before we talk about mammals, there was this quote that I meant to read before the last break. You talked about the guy who talked turkey, Joe Hutto.
Uh-huh.
And he has a quote that he said, when the first poult emerged, he made his turkey sound. Mm-hmm. And as Joe recounts, the poult turned his head, its eyes met Joe's, and, quote, something very unambiguous happened in that moment, quote. True love.
Isn't that cute?
It is cute, but a little creepy. You know? He's like, our eyes met. And
From across the room.
And it was unambiguous. Yeah. So anyway, sorry about that. I just had to throw that in there.
Nice.
Joe Hutto, turkey lover.
Yeah, go watch My Life as a Turkey on PBS.
I'd say turkey lover in jest. He was a scientist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, he's not a creep.
No, creeps don't use words like unambiguous to describe connections.
No, they say, get in my van.
Right.
All right, so mammals. This is not exactly, strictly speaking, imprinting, but they've sort of expanded over the years the definition to include, like what happens if you rip a monkey away from its mom.
Which has been done.
Yes.
By a guy named Harry Harlow in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
One of the more despicable scientists involved in animal testing. As a matter of fact, Harlow's tests with filial imprinting among mammals, and monkeys in particular, led to the animal rights movement. It definitely gave it steam and a lot of public support after articles and news stories were released about Harlow. And when he was vilified, he did not buckle under public opinion. Mm-hmm. He is very famously quoted as, "Who could ever love a monkey?"
Everybody but you.
That's what he said in response to being criticized. Who could ever love a monkey? Like, what's your problem, idiots? It's a monkey.
Yeah, that's, I don't get that.
So,
there are people out there like that, though, that
Sure,
Or like
they
how-
shouldn't be in charge of running tests about filial imprinting with monkeys. They can just sit there
Agreed.
on the sidelines and,
Hate animals.
or watch TV or something.
Yeah. Agreed. Watch, what was the Broderick movie about monkey testing? Project X.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, just watch that on a loop.
I'll bet the working title was Monkey See, Monkey Do.
Oh, you're probably right. All right, so back to mammals, right?
Yes.
They did some studies in the 1990s, a researcher named Keith Kendrick, where they, and this one doesn't seem like too much of a stretch, they switched sheep and goats at birth, and they were allowed social contact with their own species, but they were raised by their adoptive parents, like the baby sheep was raised by the goat.
Yeah.
But they were still allowed to commingle with other sheep.
Right.
And it still worked. It turned out that they preferred to mate with the species of the adopted parent.
Right.
Or adopted mother.
But they also found very remarkably or notably that it's reversible as well.
Yes.
They wanted to see how it would hold up.
Right.
So once a year, they would bring them all back together, be like, mingle.
Yeah.
Have there's a cheese plate over there.
Well, yeah,
We're gonna play a little music.
This is after they had removed them from the opposite species, put them back with their own species, and once a year they said, hey, remember those goats that you like so much?
Oh, it was like that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so and what they found was that among females, we can say females because we're talking about a different species.
That's right.
The females showed a preference. They reverted to their intra-species preference. So,
Yeah.
like, they showed, like, a sexual preference for their own species after about 1 to 3 years after being returned.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But males, even after 3 years of being commingled again,
Yeah.
they still showed a preference for the species that they'd imprinted on.
Yeah. The goats are still like, oh man, I remember those sheep.
Right. And the sheep said the same thing about the goats, which
I look
is
forward to
noteworthy.
Sheep Day once a year
Exactly.
where we can go party.
Sheep Day. They have the best cheese plates.
Oh man. I thought that was really interesting though, how, there's no explanation, I guess, but how the females and the males reacted, years later.
Well, males are stubborn,
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe that's all it is.
Yeah. Not quite as agile is another way to put it. So that's sheep and goats.
Yes.
That experiment's called the old switcheroo. Harry Harlow did some experiments, and he actually, as mean as his experiments were, he actually managed to basically disprove an ongoing debate that had been ongoing up until that point.
Yeah.
Whether or not you form an attachment or animals form an attachment based on classical conditioning or based on some sort of evolutionary mechanism.
Right.
And so the classical conditioning people said, no, it's all about food. So the animal goes up and imprints on whatever's giving it food.
Right.
And what it's doing is it's making an imprint, an attachment with the person that gives it food. So you're looking for the food, and you insert the person who gives you the food, and then you can remove the food, and you still have the attachment to the person that gave you the food.
Yeah.
Classical conditioning. It's just standard Freud stuff, right?
Yeah. I punch that button, cocaine comes out.
Exactly. Well, that's more Skinnery, but yeah. Conditioning.
Uh-huh.
So with Harlow's experiments, he took monkeys, stripped them from their mothers. In some cases, let them get nice and attached to their mothers, and then stripped them from their mothers.
Yeah. Nice guy.
Had all sorts of different designs, but basically the upshot was he introduced them to two different mothers. They were both inanimate objects. One was a monkey mother made of like wire with like spikes.
It was a toaster.
They referred to it as the Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
But this one had food.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was a inanimate monkey mother who was made of terry cloth and was soft.
Yeah, a little bit like a teddy bear, monkey teddy bear.
So to a monkey, all of these monkeys showed a preference for the terry cloth monkey mother.
Of course.
They would go to this wire monkey mother when they were hungry and would eat, and then would immediately go back to the monkey mother. When Harry Harlow came in and was like, blah, 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 and would scare them all,
Yeah.
they would all go over to the terry cloth mother. So he basically showed that it's not food.
Right.
And by extension, it's not classical conditioning.
It's softness.
It's comfort. It's contact.
Exactly.
It may be physical protection, but apparently it is, it's contact. And to make an anthropic shift, you can extrapolate that onto humans too.
Yeah.
Because there's a drug called oxytocin that is released, especially on skin-to-skin contact, which is why touching and raising an infant and holding an infant is extraordinarily important, not just for its development, but also for establishing bonds and contact with that kid.
Yeah, and especially for adoptive parents, they say a lot of skin-on-skin contact as soon as possible is key to establishing that bond.
But that's really neat because it means like the imprinting is all about, it basically proves family is what you make of it.
Yeah.
Or family is whatever you find is your family.
Yeah.
It's not this predefined structure. It's from infancy. It's whatever you make of it.
Yeah, that's true. And then, Harlow I like him less and less the more you talk about him.
Yeah.
But on the other side of the spectrum, what we've learned through all this research is if you work in wildlife conservation, they're not just willy-nilly in how they handle animals anymore.
Right.
They go through great pains and efforts to, like we mentioned, the hand puppet, they have Operation Condor, where they will raise these baby condors who are abandoned, and they would dress their hand puppet up to look like a mama condor to feed it.
Yeah.
And basically to do everything they can do to make sure that they can live a regular life in the wild.
Right.
And they're not looking for that spiked iron maiden in the jungle.
Yeah.
And even down to like migratory patterns, they'll use like the ultralight planes to later teach these birds, and they will dress up the plane to look like a condor or whatever, a duck.
Right.
And, fly, the migratory pattern that they should use, the route.
Yeah. And there's one of the researchers is inside the glider that's dressed up like a condor on the PA going, "Follow me."
And the cutest thing ever, they found out that in, I think it was in Japan, that pandas didn't do so well when they were handled by humans too young.
Yeah.
So now they wear panda suits.
Yeah.
Isn't that adorable?
Yes, it is.
It's like you go to work, you punch in, you put on your panda suit, and you cuddle with baby pandas.
Well, it's not just human contact that can screw up, like, say, a panda.
Yeah.
What they found is, one of the things that Harlow found was that imprinting has a lot to do with socialization.
Yeah.
So that even if you just stick a baby with the wire, spiky Iron Maiden monkey mother, but you give that monkey 20 minutes a day to socialize with other monkeys, it should turn out okay.
Okay.
But even if it has the terry cloth mother and is kept in isolation from other monkeys, they in turn tend to make inadequate mothers, is what they call them.
Yeah.
Where they just like neglect their children or smack them around or just do all sorts of stuff because their mother was an inanimate object.
Yeah.
Unethical stuff.
Yeah, I feel like we owe the band Iron Maiden a big apology.
Yeah, they're like, Roy, you gave us a bad name.
Yeah, like, this is just supposed to be a torture device.
Right.
Not for animals, for humans.
Exactly, yeah. I do. There's a cute salon slideshow called 20 Heartwarming Stories of Interspecies Adoptions.
Oh, that's literally the best thing on the internet.
Isn't it sweet?
Is when you find, like, a horse cuddling with a puppy.
Right, or raising it as its own.
Yeah.
There's apparently a lioness who's well known in a preserve somewhere for stealing antelope calves and not eating them.
I saw that, dude.
But raising them as her own because she wants a kid.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Animals teaching us the way.
Right.
You know?
Who could ever love a monkey?
Like, who cares what you look like? Who cares what...
Who cares if I'm meant to eat you? You know? I'm going to raise you as my own.
Yeah. Well, I think they often display, like, true nurturing love more than a lot of humans do.
Yeah, true that. If you guys want to know more about this kind of thing, you can type animal imprinting in the search bar at howstuffworks.com. And also, go check out our classic episode, Animal Domestication.
Good one.
Pretty good. And you can find that on stuffyoushouldknow.com. And I said search bar in there somewhere, so it's time for listener mail.
I'm going to call this gang article recommendation. Hi, guys. My name is Ciara. I just finished listening to How Street Gangs Work. I thought I would offer a piece of literature as a suggestion to people interested in reading more about the subject. It's called Gang Leader for a Day by Sudhir Venkatesh. It's a sociological approach to street gangs in Chicago. It started out as a Harvard dissertation with Venkatesh asking, what's it like to be poor and black, and turned into 7 years of befriending a crack-dealing gang leader in the projects. It's a really great read, very interesting to see a first-person account of gang life from someone who was not raised in the community in which gangs prevailed, especially when you learn that gangs started to protect black people at its base level. So even when you see the gang violence brought forth in the book pages, you also get to see the gang members doing everything they can to protect their community members. There's a New York Times article, if you're interested, about the book called If You Want to Observe 'Em, Join 'Em. I think it was like 2008-ish, but I read it. It's awesome. So thanks for all the work you guys put into the episodes. I love constantly learning something new, except for when it's about space. I don't want to learn anything about space.
Okay.
It'll make me lose my mind.
Weird.
Thank you, Ciara.
Thank you, Ciara. Much appreciated.
Go listen to our episode on the sun.
Or the
That will make most people lose their minds.
elevator to the moon.
Yeah.
Or Mars.
Or the moon.
Got a lot of them about space.
Yeah. She's like, yep, I've avoided them all.
We want to know what will make you lose your mind topic-wise. Or actually in general.
Yeah, or if you've ever imprinted on something non-human.
Yeah, there you go.
Gross.
You can send us all that info via Twitter at SYSK Podcast. You can join us on Facebook.com/Stuff You Should Know. You can send us an email to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com. And as always, join us at our home on the web, stuffyoushouldknow.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com.
Can I have Lingo Kids? Dad, Lingo Kids, please!
When did we become the Lingo Kids house?
No idea. Last week it was dinosaurs. This week it's...
Lingo Kids!
Why Lingo Kids?
Because it's the best thing ever. We can play games with astronauts, wild animals, and superheroes.
With more than 4,000 interactive games, songs, and shows, Lingo Kids is the #1 entertainment platform for young kids.
So, no dinosaurs?
And dinosaurs! Lingo Kids!
Everything kids love. Download it for free.
Imagine never buying gas again. Well, you can with an electric vehicle. EVs are easy to charge as your phone and perfect for everyday life. You can drive daily with confidence everywhere you go. Most Americans drive just 40 miles a day, and most EVs are equipped with 200 to 400 miles of range. Plus, they've got fewer parts, they require fewer repairs, and they produce fewer headaches. And with all those pluses, it's no surprise that we're seeing more and more EVs on the road, which makes the planet happier and happier. The way forward is electric. You can learn more about EVs at electricforall.org.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.